Hello everybody and welcome to Imperator, where this is our second attempt here. The first time we got through all of the intro stuff and then OBS decided to stop recording Imperator and wouldn't even show any display capture. It was a little weird. We're trying this again. Like I said before, which you wouldn't have heard, in case you're wondering why I'm not logged in right now, it's because Paradox's servers are a little bit dead. But I decided in the previous attempt to skip the tutorial, and we're just going to see how awful it is without it. And we're just going to dive straight in. And yeah, now it's actually loading this loading screen, which is good. So it seems to actually be recording now. I just had to restart both OBS and Imperator. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so now it's working. That's fantastic. And the question is, who do we want to play as? Well, is there a meme button? I mean, we've got the terrain map mode, political map mode, and player map mode here. There doesn't seem to be a random nation button, which I find to be a little bit sad. I love the way this map actually works. That feels so good. Super happy about that. Okay, well... If there's no random nation button, how are we going to do this? I was planning on just hitting the random nation button. That doesn't seem to be an option. We could just start as something relatively easy. I don't really feel like playing like Rome. We could maybe play as Egypt. Or we could do the tutorial. But nah. Let's play as Egypt, I guess. What could possibly go wrong? Let's just dive right in. Iron Man mode. Let's go. Oh boy. This is perhaps my worst idea ever. But we are definitely playing this sight unseen. And I have specifically not watched very much pre-release coverage of Imperator to try to have as fresh of an opinion as possible. So I have basically no idea what we're getting into. I know it's kind of a mix between Crusader Kings and Europa-style mechanics, and that there are pops involved, like Victoria or Stellaris-style pops. And that's about all I know. So, let's dive right in. Yeah. Create an Iron Man save. What could go wrong? Alexander the Great. In Babylon, 18 years ago, the Argead king Alexander died suddenly at the age of 32. In the 5 years preceding his death, his continuing military successes had reshaped the world as known to the Greeks, his empire stretching, uninterrupted, from Egypt to the Indus. The shock of Alexander's early death, and his lack of a chosen successor, sent shockwaves through the hierarchy of satraps and generals who attended him, splintering his empire into elements ruled by these potentates, styled as the Diadochi. For many years, they and their successors have been locked in a bitter struggle over the future of the empire, drawing all nations within their sphere of influence into the conflict. The wars of the Diadochi will surely continue. Perhaps it's up to Egypt to decide how they will end. The die is cast. Okay, so here we are. This is Egypt right here, and a lot of it is wasteland. A whole lot of it is wasteland, but we're actually pretty large here. This is a local power? Hang on, this is Nubia. Okay. So Nubia is down here, kind of. I mean, we've got Blamia down here, we've got Kush. I mean, I'm relatively familiar with this area. But yeah, this appears to be Dodecashoinos. So yeah, that might be a potential target, or are they... They're blue-colored. Are they our ally, currently? Where's the diplomatic map mode? Political map mode, that'll do. Maybe. Actually, we do want diplomatic. Barbarian power, fortifications, culture map mode. That might be good to look at. Okay, it looks like we have a little bit of Nabataean culture and Phoenician culture within our territory here. That's something we might want to consider doing something about, and we might want to consider uniting the Egyptian culture, although this down here is Meroitic. We've got a little bit of Meroitic down here as well. Religion, of course, we're all Kemetic down here, so that's great. That might be something that we could do to expand early on. Of course, provinces map mode. What else do we have here? Trade goods. Oh my. I like this a lot. Population. Okay, this is just like... This is essentially like the economic map mode in Crusader Kings. Darker is lower pop. Yeah, citizens, freemen, tribesmen, and slaves. Okay. Here's the diplomacy map mode. So they pay tribute to us, and they give military access to us, and we give military access to them. And the same is true of Blamia, perhaps? No, they appear to just be neutral. Okay, so most of this down here is pretty neutral. Barbarian power, there is not much barbarian power at all, currently. I imagine that will change. I imagine that will change a lot. Trade routes. I don't know how to read this. I'm guessing that this line is a trade route here. And that this trade route essentially goes up to Alexandria, or is this just the Nile? I think that's just the Nile. So how do I read this then? We've got an unused trade route here. Is this essentially just docks? So they don't have like set trade routes like they would in Europa then. Okay. So we can view our trade routes here, and we can trade for particular trade goods. Okay. That seems interesting. And of course, here's player map mode. I'm the only player. Fortifications map mode. Ooh, look at these choke points. That is pretty sexy. I like these choke points a lot, actually. Region map mode, of course. Oh, this is interesting. Are these the governors? Yeah, these are the governors of the regions. Okay. Supply map mode. That's going to be pretty important. Supply limit of 56 in these higher areas, 23 in the lower areas. We've also got a fair number of mercenaries around here, I'm noticing. Are we paying money for those? Are those our mercenaries? Oh, we can recruit those. Okay. I don't want to recruit those mercenaries. They just happen to be here, and we can recruit them. Interesting way to do things. So we'll go through these in a moment, as soon as I'm done situating here. Now this is all completely sight unseen. I have no idea what's going on here. This is our only army? This is our only army. We have 30 cohorts up there. It is primarily, well actually it's a even mix between archers, heavy infantry, and light cavalry. Okay, I'm not sure, oh that was a little laggy. Wait, we can select these impassable terrains? Oh. Wastelands will periodically spawn barbarians. That's interesting. That's interesting indeed. So we're gonna, because we actually have quite a lot of wasteland around here, we're going to potentially have a bit of a barbarian problem going forward. That's good to know. Okay, where is our, here's our macro builder here. We've got marketplace, training camp for manpower. Okay, so this is just the Europa style of manpower. I'm fine with that. This looks to be very Europa style treasury as well. Fort maintenance, army maintenance. Wages in addition to army maintenance. I have to assume that's for governors and the like. We can't just click on it to go to the economy tab. So here's the economy tab. We are currently paying wages to these guys. Yeah, I think those are our... Yeah, that's our leader. Those are our researchers and our governors, people like that. Okay, so we pay wages for each of those. Sounds good. We have 2 unused trade routes in the capital. There are only 2 import routes to our capital, while we could have 3 imports. So we could go ahead and import something else. What do we need? Well, I don't know. Trade not possible for dyes. Does this say what we have? How do we see what we need? That's the question. Like we could export or import probably? Or is this just imports? That's just imports. Okay. Well, we have no commander for this army. Can we get one? We can indeed. So these are, well, this is us right here. We're 63. That's pretty old. Okay. We could have one of these guys down here. Like 4 martial ability, 7 martial ability, 47. That wouldn't be the worst. We could have this guy lead. Okay. So we have a leader there. Scorned families. A family will be scorned unless the total income its members receive from jobs and offices is at least 2% of our national income. Families where everyone holds a job, or no member can hold a job, will also not be scorned. The following families consider themselves scorned. Okay, so Philetid, Persid, and Penaeid all consider themselves scorned right now. Okay, so that's a lot of families there. Most of them are just a single person, though. So the question is, do we care about any of these families? These guys, we've got a researcher and a random member of the family. We could not recruit him. How do we give this guy a job? Right click? That's very Crusader Kings. Okay. In that case, we would want to give him a job? I don't know. Maybe we need to have a job opening? Let's see. Where is our government? Probably. So we've got possible successors here. It could be this guy, this 12-year-old girl, or this 70-year-old... No, wait, he's not 70. He's 17. Why is he balding? Oh boy. Okay, he's already balding at 17. That's nice. So, I'm just trying to figure out right now where our researchers are. Probably would be in the technology tab, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is actually very Stellaris. We've got martial advances, civic advances, oratory advances, and religious advances. So one extra research area. And it looks like they just build us points. And then we just grab one? I'm not sure. Or we have to level up. Perhaps. Okay, well... we're doing reasonably well financially, it looks like. I mean, I don't know if these numbers are good or not, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that they're reasonable since we're currently making 14.2 gold. So that seems okay. So what do we have the options of here? Improve opinion maximum, fabricate claim cost, diplomatic reputation. This is very much feeling like a hybridization of Stellaris, Europa, and Crusader Kings. And I'm okay with this. Army morale recovery, omen power. I'm not sure what that does. That's a resource up here? Religious power? No. It's just a very similar icon, actually. Interesting. So, these are essentially your... oh, I get it. These four here are essentially like your powers in Europa. Your mana that you spend on things. Sounds good. Okay. So what do we got going on here that we could grab? Well, we could grab professional soldiers, trireme discipline. Do we have any triremes? I don't think we do. Yeah, we have no navy. So that wouldn't be amazingly useful. Military tech investment plus 5%. That sounds good. And we'd be spending civic power on this? I would think we'd spend military power on it. It would cost civic power. Interesting. Well, let's give it a go. Okay. Excellent. Military tech investment plus 5%. Now, I believe that what that does is that gives us a 5% boost here. Yes, indeed. To our research speed. I'm okay with that. So, this is still going to cost us civic points. So it just costs us civic? That's really weird. So, hypothetically, what if we were to then grab... that gets us research points. Which is not civic points. So how much resource... or how much research points does each of these cost? I have no idea. Well, what's our primary income from? Taxes or commerce? Taxes right now. So a percentage increase on taxes will be a whole lot better than a percentage increase on commerce. So we'll go ahead and grab that. That's going to cost us 100 more of our civic power. Then we'll see what we use the rest of this for eventually. Okay, so now we can't grab anything else because we don't have the civic power for it. We can call down an omen, though. Ares, Zeus, Apollo, Hermes, Athena, Tyche, Hades, or Demeter. I'm liking the sound of this population growth increase, actually. How long would this last for? 1825 days. It's a lot. How quickly do we generate this omen power? I have no idea. It doesn't seem to say. Anyway, let's go for a population boom for right now. That seems nice. Okay. So, we still have our unused trade route that I don't really know what we need to, I don't really know what we need to get currently. Like, what are we short on? How can we see that? I would imagine that would be in perhaps the economy? Convert currency. No? Trade overview, perhaps. Okay, so this is what we have a surplus of in our capital. We have too much fish, vegetables, glass, and grain. And so we can export those. We are currently exporting grain to Macedonia, and we are exporting precious metals to Western Delta. Wait, no, we're importing. We are importing from Troglodytia to Western Delta. How is that an export? I'm a little confused by that. So we're both we're importing it here and then immediately exporting it back? This gives us 0.55 wealth each month to import this. Interesting. Well, there is a piracy chance. We can't really import anything here at this point, it would seem. Oh, I see. Surpluses give you a particular bonus. I gotcha. So base metals increase your light infantry offense, etc., etc. Okay. Well, we don't seem to be able to do this because we don't have the 25 civic power that would be required. So that's okay. Now, these scorned families. I still don't know how to give this guy a job. We could imprison him. Or just execute him. We can't afford that, though. Demand support for air, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, these are our 3 scorned families here. We can grant stipends. Interesting. Would this fix it? I mean, it's going to cost a lot. Monthly wage plus 50%. I mean, as he doesn't get a monthly wage right now, so I don't think that's actually useful. Yeah, that's not actually useful. I just gave him money for no reason. That's exciting. Okay, so let's take a quick look down this way at what we can do for expansion. Well, we've got Blamia down here. They don't pay us any tribute or anything, so I suspect we probably want to go after them, right? We can plan assassination. How do we go about making claims? Well, that's a question. Okay, so here's their ruler. Ah, we could just declare war, but we can't start a war until the 1st of November. So I think we pretty much need to start ticking forward and just see what ends up happening. We can start marching this army down here, though, just in case. Ooh, that's not very visible. Yeah, they should brighten that up a little bit. It's not very visible down here. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, our very first cut. And next episode, we will unpause the game. Subscribe for more, and I will see you all next time.